Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson, and today we're going to talk about age, perception of age, and transition. And I want to make that a distinction because when you transition, no matter where you are, I think there is a sense of age that may feel different than your actual physical age. And for me, I found this super interesting because I'm older. I am a full-blown adult, but, and let me just adjust this, but when I began my transition, I felt like I was 18, 17. Have you transitioned? When you kind of came into your prime, did you not feel like a teenager or just at the beginning of stages of your life? I think for me, the world became so fresh and new again because when you occupy a new gender, there's all these societal contracts that come with that. The way you dance, the way you move, the way you're expected to be, the friends and the way you can express yourself. All of these change. And that creates this kind of fresh world experience where everything seems so new. And for me, when I kind of had, I think about a year on hormones, I started to really see the world in a new way. And that made me feel I felt like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old girl who had just been set free on the world. But I was not 18 or 19. I'm much older than that. And that period of time where I felt like this new girl on the block, it didn't last. I'm about 3 years into my transition, and I don't feel like a new girl anymore. I don't feel like I'm 18 or 19 as a girl. And I kind of always said this, but kind of had this tension of feeling like an old wise man and like an 18 or 19-year-old girl. And depending on, what mood we're in, one just wants to sit down and think about these philosophical personal growth topics, and the other one just wants to go out dancing and meet hot guys and, hook up with people. Yeah, I just admitted that. So I have this really immature kind of wanting to go out and have a good time and party with girlfriends. And then I have this really old, wise aspect of myself that says, write, sit inside, do these thoughtful things that are very productive. And I think all of us, when we ask ourselves, let me ask you, how many different personalities of yourself exist within you and how do they interplay with each other and how do they pool? When you have this transition, you kind of at least have two very distinct personalities. You have the personality of the thing that you're transitioning to, and you have the personality of the thing that you started with or you had pre-transition. And there's a negotiation and transference of information between these two where you kind of take and you pick and choose what to keep and what to discard. And that's a very empowering experience, you can imagine, right? Because you now have the wisdom and you're not 5 to just pick up and absorb things and internalize them. You can detangle them, you can tease them apart and say, is this right for me? So going through this transition and feeling like I'm 18 or 19, it was exciting, but I also had the wisdom to not be 18 or 19 and OD on some drugs or alcohol, drink way too much because I knew, and not put myself in dangerous situations because I knew well enough, I had enough street smarts to not do some of these things. And I'd say about every 6 months, I feel like I age a few years in terms of my transition. And maybe there's this kind of catch-up process that happens in your transition where eventually you end up being the same age as the person that you are biologically. I feel like I'm still maybe 5, 8 years behind. Where are you on your transition, and what does your transition age feel like versus your real age? And how do you work with these different parts of you, and how do you kind of serve both parts of you? Because I don't think it's about conflict, it's about integration, right? The transition is about trying to figure out how to bring all these things together. That's a really powerful self-love experience, an exercise to really say, you know what, I'm going to bring you all together, I acknowledge you, I acknowledge you. This is kind of the secret to self-love and something that I need to talk about more. Self-love is really about understanding that you can love all yourself, including the parts that you wouldn't allow yourself to love. And that is so, so important to really getting over some of these own internal obstacles. We're talking about self-acceptance, really, at that point. Yeah, so I'd love to hear what you think about this kind of stuff. If you haven't, write a comment down below. I interact with folks. I drop the little hearts on the comments after I see them. And I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye.